everyone, this is Laka here. Today I'm going to do a commentary. Why? Because commentaries for me are really fun to do. They help with my script writing skills, my editing skills, and even my organization. But nonetheless, let's get to the subject of today's commentary. Today I'm going to do a commentary on Fluffykitty131 Silver the Hedgehog's 42 Top 10 Hottest Sonic Character List. Silver the Hedgehog 42 is actually a troll who was parodying Gyro the Hedgehog. But let's see what she has to say anyway, shall we? And also, I will be using Wacko Warner as my icon, just because I want to see how many people will complain about me ruining their childhoods.
This is Fluffykitty131, and this is my very first commentary. Yay for me! Not to mention that today is Valentine's Day. But, unfortunately, the first commentary I'm going to do is about one of the Sonic recolorists named Steel the Hedgehog 42. You heard right. Steel the Hedgehog 42.
Now I know probably at this part you're probably expecting me to comment on the editing. I'm just going to be truthful here. I am not expecting gold here, and to me, edits like this, since it's her first commentary, are kind of understandable, even though she's made videos before. I'll edit out things like this for her, but when there are major editing mistakes that there's no way in hell she could have missed when she actually reviewed the video, I will comment on those.
And before I go anywhere, let me say that about my opinion on recolors. Oh gosh, I hope this doesn't get me in trouble. Recolors are okay as long as you give the proper owner copyright. Now, I'm not saying that recoloring is bad, but I'm just saying, if you cannot copyright, if you cannot give full respect to the to whoever did the screenshot, that is bad.
How will saying this get you into trouble? But I think you need to look a little bit more into copyright laws, because the Copyright Office actually will not honor a request to copy someone else's protected work without written authorization from the copyright owner or their agent. This means you cannot edit artwork of any sort without written documentation from the original artist giving you permission to do so. The only time this law is ignored though is when the artwork is used for commentaries, criticism, news reporting, or scholarly reports. This is why you're allowed to use icons during commentaries and not be complete hypocrites for them and not get in trouble, because you're protected by this exception of the law. You can find this research easily. There is no excuse for not double-checking into what copyright law is so you prevent mistakes like this.
I cannot forget that. So let's not waste any time and let's start this.
Hi, this is Steel the Hedgehog.
Okay, I'm already seeing two problems on this. The first being the visual. Let's continue.
Okay, I need to say this. This is one of the major editing flaws I was talking about. Fluffykitty, you've been talking for well over 2 minutes and he has barely spoken his name. In fact, you cut him off in the middle of his name. You really couldn't put this information about what recolors were when you actually showed a picture of him and then moved on? You know, planning ahead for what you're about to say? I'm sorry for sounding like a dick there, but this rambling's unneeded and could have been easily edited out. To prove this, I will skip her rewind joke later on to actually see if it makes a difference in the commentary.
In my first video I will be doing in my mind the most sexy and fuckable characters in the Sonic universe.
Okay, whoa, I need to rewind that.
And hundreds of screaming kids go running out of the theater.
Nostalgia critic, how boring and incredibly outdated your clips are. But literally, you did all that just to fit in a nostalgia critic joke? I'm sorry, but how many commentaries have you ever seen that have ever worked with this successfully? There's a reason why it's not used much anymore. The main reason being is it's not worth editing in. You could just say the joke yourself and save tons of time with it.
I can't believe my ears. He actually said, for those of you who know what a furry is, good for you. If not, Just look it up. Because I really don't want to traumatize anybody who doesn't know the term.
You realize not all furries want to fuck animals, right? That's not what a furry is. So we can save the twist until the end. I just want to give an example of how this terminology is incorrect. Anime. They have tons of hentai in that from both the fandom and the animes themselves. But does this mean all animes have hentai in them? No, not all animes do. This is the #1 rule of the internet that comes into play here. No matter what fandom you go to, there will always be hentai of it regardless of the series. Even if the characters are fucking vegetables, there will still be porn of it.
In my mind, Sonic is the game with the most sexy characters and the most fuckable of all. Well enough, with all this blaming, let's get on with the list.
And let the torture commence. Please help me.
Okay, I'm sorry for what I'm about to say ahead of time, but Fluffy Kitty, that joke was very poorly constructed. Let me tell you why. No one is forcing you to commentate on this, and also you're being a little too overdramatic about it as well. But I need to bring up a major editing issue here. We're already 4 minutes into your video and you just barely started the commentary. Fluffy Kitty, you can take as much time as you need to on commentaries. You don't have to rush these out. If you need more time to edit, you can give yourself more time to edit. You don't need to post videos if you don't feel like they're ready. If they're not ready, take as much time as you need to.
Number 10. Miles Tails Brewer is a sexy beast with 2 tails. He is sexy and hot and he's number 10 on this list because he's just so damn sexy and he's always by Sonic's side.
And he's 8 years old. So strike 1 for being a pedophile. Or a zoophile. Whichever one you want to be called first.
A strike counter? Really? Is that really gonna stop anyone from wanting to fuck Tails? Okay, I'm sorry for the bad joke, but really, why a strike counter? This provides literally nothing to the video whatsoever, and it just looks like you're trying to fill in some time. And good job for getting the correct terminology right this time, but at this point it's a little too late since you've already proven you've done little to no research before doing this commentary. This is why research is good for commentaries. It helps you gain knowledge on the subject, and it helps you to prevent errors like this.
Number 9. Knuckles Echidna. Knuckles is a hot Sonic character who could break a wall with one punch. He is so fucking strong and very sexy and is just so fuckable I would give him a blowjob. And that's why he is number 9.
Okay, wait. I missed something here. I need to rewind. Blowjob? What the heck is a blowjob?
Seriously? You're gonna commentate on how Spiconia pronounces things? Okay then, let me tell you what a blowjob is then. It's the sucking version of that noise in the background. I know that was a bad joke, but are you doing the egotistical dick clap in the background? What I mean by this is when someone claps and thinks they're so high and superior to someone, they're actually clapping at how pathetic they are. Please tell me you're not doing that, because that will only show how much of an egotistical prick you are. I'm sorry, but no one has the right to do that in any commentary, since everyone in the entire world is just as pathetic as someone else in one way or another.
And I did forget to mention that he's using Spaconia, which is the most hated recording site due to obvious reasons.
Spiconia is not a recording site. I have no idea where you got that information from, but how do you know it's the most hated? Did you actually do a little form of research outside of this commentary and make a poll or something to actually test that it was the most hated? And also, what obvious reasons? Seriously, I do not know what she is referring to by that. I think she's actually confusing this with something else right now. This is kind of a thing you need to provide a little more information on if you're going to use in the commentary. You can't just say obvious reasons and expect everyone to know what you're talking about.
Number 8. Amy Rose. She is a very sexy pink character and the fur makes her all the more sexy and fuckable. She is always chasing after Sonic because she wants to get laid by him, but if she came around me she sure would get laid. You can trust me on that.
And she's 12 years old. So strike 2 for you.
Actually, Amy Rose is 13, but you're going to do the strike counter again? Really? And you're not going to comment anything else like she's not trying to get laid, she's trying to force Sonic into marriage, something like that? Okay then, Fluffy Kitty, you have to ask yourself this question then. Was this really worth editing in? You have to kind of ask yourself these questions when you make a commentary, because this whole scene I can cut out and it would make literally no difference to your commentary since it's basically a filler scene.
Number 7. Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow is a badass kick-ass who will pump anybody full of weed who gets in his way. In my mind, Shadow is a very fuckable one because he cowering the spiky A's on his vacuum would let him shove up my bum.
What?
And we're skipping the rewind joke again. Come on, you used it 3 times. Isn't this getting old? How is that clip even related to what he just said? Skipping! There's gonna be a lot of this in here.
Okay, that's a little creepy. Almost speechless there. Well, Shadow does have a pretty big fan base, but I don't think anybody will go as far as... That is probably the most sickest thing I have ever heard so far from this guy.
Wow, you've really not researched much in any of this, because if you just go to DeviantArt alone, you will see far worse. And also, you're gonna pull the worst thing you've heard from so far crap. That joke doesn't really work in commentaries because you've already watched the video. And plus, I've looked at your likes and you've liked Conker's Bad Fur Day Let's Play, so I don't really think you have the right to judge that.
Number 6. Blaze the cat. Blaze is a sexy cat who is a sexy pussy and a fuckable one at that. She is one pussy that I would feed, if you know what I mean.
And we're skipping more old dead media clips. This time she used Dramatic Groundhog along with Nostalgia Critic. All I have to ask is, why are you restricting yourself to only old media clips, Fluffy Kitty? Literally, there are tons more videos from this year alone that show despair, emotion, shock, and so many other emotions better than these ones. Why are you restricting yourself to only old videos from 2006 and back?
Okay, hold the presses. Before I go anywhere on this, let me say this. Blaze the cat is my most favorite Sonic characters, and you just throwing her on a table like that? What is wrong with you? I mean, what did Blaze ever do to you to deserve such crude, humorless joke? You sick feline bile! How dare you!
And you commented on Speakonia mispronouncing blowjob. You just said characters. So, Blaze is bipolar now? Okay, I'm sorry for the crappy joke, but Fluffy Kitty, can you please stop being so overdramatic about this? You should know, since you admit to liking Blaze, that people already do this kind of stuff to her all the time. Just go to DeviantArt, there's enough proof there alone. And if you truly didn't want to hear this kind of stuff, then honestly, why are you doing this commentary? It's on a top 10 hottest Sonic character list. If you don't want to hear things like this, then don't do the commentary.
Continue before I go absolute nuts on this guy.